Hey guys, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the preview between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys, if you could do me a favor, hit the like button on this video to help the channel grow. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you're new and you're enjoying Cowboys content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. Make sure that it's set to all to ensure that you get all my notifications to when I go live or post new videos. YouTube updated. I found this out, so I wanted to give you guys that heads up. Thank you guys so much for that notification. And with that being said, let's continue on with the show. So, we have the Minnesota Vikings coming to town, Sunday Night Football, and this is a huge game for both teams. It's a very heavy playoff implication type of game where you have a 6-3 NFC team versus a 5-3 NFC team. The difference is that one's leading their division, the other is a game behind their rival. So what does this mean in terms of, like, how can this affect things? Well, if Dallas wins this game, what it does is it keeps them in the driver's seat of their division, but more importantly, it gives them more wins in their conference. And especially if some of the top-heavy teams begin to falter, it gives Dallas a chance to kind of catch up to them. Now, that's the important side for that. Now, for the Vikings, it's important because it keeps them on track with Green Bay. And, it's just the must-win for both teams. I think that the Vikings need this game more than Dallas needs it, in my opinion. So I would expect Minnesota to put up a fight. But with that being said, I fully expect the Cowboys to be ready for this game. It feels like one of those types of games. Now, looking at the injury report really quickly, this is as of Thursday. It's Friday as of this recording. Adam Thielen will not play. Linval Joseph, I believe that's how you pronounce his first name. He is out, defensive tackle. Andrew Sendejo, he is out as well with a groin injury. And then you have a couple of the defensive players for the Vikings that are questionable, but they might play. Other than that, they should have everybody else. So that's huge. Having Adam Thielen out for this game is very important. Now we look at the Cowboys side of things. Amari Cooper, yes, I understand he's had the knee situation. He had the MRI for precautionary reasons. He will play most likely. It was a precautionary thing. Obviously they don't want to re-aggravate it, but I fully expect him to play. Cameron Fleming has not practiced due to a calf injury. Meanwhile, you've had Leighton Vander Esch have limited time practicing, and a couple other things. But other than that, everyone, it looks like they're good to go for this upcoming game, maybe with the exception of Cameron Fleming, but I do not know. So that's the injury report for this game. Looking at the history between these two teams, looking at the past decade, starting from 2010 up till 2016, the Cowboys and Vikings have faced off a total of 4 times. Looking at this, the home team has won 3 out of the last 4 matchups. The Vikings hosted the Cowboys 3 times in this decade, winning twice of them, one including a playoff matchup. Meanwhile, the Cowboys beat them in 2013 at home. Now, I'm not trying to say that that's an indication of how things are going to go, but typically, the home team has usually the advantage in this situation. So that's the one thing to take away there. So now we need to talk about matchups and what do the Cowboys need to do to ensure victory over Minnesota and prevent the upset. So, when looking at the Vikings, let's start on offense for the Cowboys. What can they do offensively to beat Minnesota? They need to use their passing game, okay? They need to open up the passing game, and they need to score fast, and they need to put Minnesota away early. The thing that I've noticed with the Vikings is that they're really similar to the Cowboys in that if they are put down early, let's say you jump on them 14-3 or 17-0, they're going to have a tough time coming back and beating you. Now, I would have more confidence with the Cowboys coming back from a deficit rather than the Vikings, because the Cowboys have more options and their offense is much more cohesive compared to Minnesota. But the other thing is they need to be able to play that grit and grind game and beat Minnesota, out physical them as well. Those are the two key factors. They need to attack them in the passing game, get Amari Cooper involved, get Michael Gallup involved, get Randall Cobb involved, and they have to play really good. This is a game that you cannot lose in this situation. Keep in mind, while I would argue Minnesota needs this game more than Dallas needs this game, if you're looking at it objectively, you can make the argument Dallas needs the game more than Minnesota does. But the fact of the matter is that Minnesota is not going to come into this game lackadaisical, considering they lost to Kansas City and the way that it went down. Yeah, it was a last-second field goal, but I fully expect the Vikings to bring their all so they can try to stay afloat. But do not let that make it seem like I'm down on the Cowboys, because I fully expect Dallas to come into this game and be prepared, okay? Offensively, defensively, and hopefully special teams wise. So yeah, my two key factors on offense: use your passing attack to try and take down the Vikings early, and then play grit and grind and out, physical the Vikings on offense. Next, going over to the defensive side of things, the number one thing you have to do to try and ensure victory is put down Dalvin Cook, okay? Dalvin Cook currently is the league's leading rusher with 117 attempts for 894 yards and 9 touchdowns. Over the past 2 games, now I will, put a grain of salt with the Redskins game because it's kind of like whatever, but he's not been as effective over the past couple of games, okay? The Chiefs game, only 21 attempts for 71 yards, with an average of 3.4. Listen, the Cowboys have the run defense to stop him. It's just a matter of will they. Now, I don't think that you're going to limit him to like how they did with Saquon to 24 yards. But I do think that the Cowboys will take out Dalvin Cook effectively enough to make the Vikings play out of their environment. So, with that being said, I do fully expect the Cowboys to bring it to them on defense. Not only that, I do also expect the I hope that the Cowboys secondary can also put the clamps down on Stephon Diggs as well as some of the other Vikings. I mean, Kyle Rudolph, for example, he can be dangerous as well if he's given the opportunity. So there's that. Let's go ahead and let's just try to wrap this up now. Now, what do I think might happen? I think that Dallas, should win this game, not comfortably, but I think it's going to be like a 27-24 type of game. It's going to be a tough grit and grind game up until the very end, and I think Dallas wins because they're at home and they have a good mismatch against Kirk Cousins, and considering they know him. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will be seeing you guys later. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
I used to live in Sin Cities like Bruce Willis, but I'm Jackie Chan, karate chopping, I'm still kicking. I used to be chopped and screwed, I'm Lil flipping. Now I'm nice, Mike Jordan, so who's pippin'? I'm running man, you the running man, you still slipping. I hit records, you swinging, it's still